New dangers arise as damage from floods continue to be surveyed across Kentucky.
And we'll take a look at the cancellation of the annual Thunder over Louisville due to severe flooding.
Live from the campus of Western Kentucky University, you're watching News Channel 12, where commitment makes the difference.
Welcome to News Channel 12, live at 1. I'm Kaylee Marksberry.
And I'm Jonah Listerman.
A tourist helicopter crash in New York City occurred yesterday, killing the pilot and the passenger family of 5 from Spain. Officials say the helicopter, quote, split in half, end quote, due to missing rotors while in the air and spiraled out of the sky before landing into the Hudson River. The head of the Spanish branch of technology, Siemens, and his family were identified as the family of 5 that was killed. However, the pilot's identity has not yet been announced. Several first responders quickly hurried to the scene shortly after the Bell 206 aircraft fell into the river near Pier 40 in Manhattan, close to the Hoboken border of New Jersey. The helicopter belonged to New York Helicopter, a tour company in the city that insists on providing comfort and safety to its customers.
Areas in Bowling Green and Warren County are currently experiencing severe flooding due to the recent storms. Floodwaters have overtaken many homes and made multiple roads impassable. These roads have been blocked off, and city officials say anyone caught bypassing roadblocks will be cited. Debbie West, Public Information Officer for the City of Bowling Green, stressed the importance of avoiding floodwaters due to severe contamination and safety risks. Quote, there is a high probability that floodwaters are contaminated with raw sewage, end quote, said West. And this was also a quote from her. It is extremely hazardous to your health, and people do not need to get into the water for any reason, end quote. The city is working hard to address flood damages, and many individuals who were affected have begun renovations.
Residents in Bowling Green experienced record rainfall last week. Reporter Cole McIntyre is in a local neighborhood addressing the damage in South Central Kentucky.
Yeah, guys, we know that severe weather pattern made its way throughout the region last week, rain and wind being the 2 key factors causing damage. But Bowling Green residents are still feeling those effects here today, and we're going to show you now one of 5 confirmed sinkholes inside the News Channel 12 viewing area. This one coming inside the Fountain Trace neighborhood. You can still see inside of the sinkhole some debris, some concrete, some mud as well. There are still hopes of rebuilding and reconstructing this road so it is functional for residents, but it's part of a bigger issue. 10 inches of rainfall fell in this area according to the Kentucky Mesonet, and it's part of hopes for rebuilding and reconstructing in South Central Kentucky.
Kentucky's annual Thunder over Louisville is being canceled this year due to severe flood levels. Kentucky Derby Festival President Matt Gibson declared having this event would not be logistically possible and a safety hazard. This is the first time in history the fireworks show has been canceled due to weather. It is only the second time the event has ever been canceled, the first being in 2020 because of the pandemic. Gibson says the event will not be postponed or rescheduled for another date. The event cancellation also puts local businesses and vendors at risk of losing thousands of dollars. And that's kind of crazy. I mean, especially for a big event like Thunder over Louisville to be canceled because of floods. And I know where Kaylee and I are from, we're kind of from the Cincinnati area, that, you know, the Ohio River has definitely overflowed. And even like looking at Smale Park is really sad.
Yeah, it is very unfortunate to see it all underwater. And even being here in Bowling Green, not being from here, seeing all of the flooding happen in water where it's not supposed to be, it's very unfortunate. And it's a good thing that it's starting to go down, but so far, it has been sad.
And Avery, how are things where you're from?
Well, I'm from Dallas, so
okay.
Really we haven't been seeing a lot of flooding, more of some severe weather, but truly the flooding we've seen through the Ohio River Valley and some of the Mississippi has been historic, and I think a lot of Bowling Green has found out they are living in floodplains.
Yeah, so what is the flooding going to do with the weather this weekend?
Well,
and what is that going to look like?
Well, certainly I think we're finally getting a break for some of that flooding. If we take a look outside right now, it's about 50 degrees with a northwest wind of 10 knots. It feels perfectly like 50 degrees, and the dew point's around 45, so really shouldn't be feeling any sort of humidity. As we take a look at some of those wind speeds, again, a pretty calm north wind through all of the state, but for temperatures, we've got a 53 for Bowling Green, Elizabethtown at 46, and Paducah at 55, so overall pretty dreary compared to some of the rest of the weather we've had, especially after those showers this morning. Taking a look at those current radar, we can see just the remnants of those showers that moved through overnight and through the rest of this morning. But for the rest of the day, those showers are long gone. We're perhaps looking at a more quiet weekend and a cooler week ahead. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thank you, Avery. WKU brings the artists to campus coming up on News Channel 12.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Western Kentucky University retired music educator Dr. Stephen King created a scholarship to aid future music students. Throughout King's career, he has worked in state music education, and orchestra and band associations. King says in a release, quote, "I am honored to be able to pay that back to ensure the legacy of WKU and help provide opportunities for students just as I was helped," end quote.
What a great way to give back to WKU. And speaking of music, reporter Gavin Schmucki went to Diego and Aeneas, I'm so sorry if I butchered that, this past Sunday to learn more about what WKU's music program has to offer.
I've been in choir since I was about 10 years old, and opera just sort of always was appeasing to me to hear, and then I got really into it probably my junior year. I just decided that that was what I wanted to pursue instead of just doing it for fun. Well, I think emotionally it starts at your audition. You have to be emotionally prepared to get whatever the directors need you for, and not necessarily what you can or can't do, but what they need you for. And then after that, it's just understanding what you want it to sound like and just pushing through whatever the hard stuff is, the hard rehearsals, just push through it.
So I am Dido in Dido and Aeneas, and she is the Queen of Carthage, also known as Elisa, and she is grieving the death of her husband, and her sister Belinda basically tries to convince her to pursue someone who she loves, which is Aeneas, and when she does finally pursue him, he has to leave. He's tricked by the sorceress to leave and found Rome, and she is ultimately devastated to the point of her own death.
Being a cover is extremely difficult, especially with the question you were asking earlier of what's the balance like between life, school, and then this. When you are a cover, not only are you learning your main track, which you need to give your all to, but you also have to be learning someone else's main track. And so the dichotomy of having to know, oh, this is what I'm doing right now, but if I was someone else, that's what I'd be doing, and you have to be good at both.
I personally love the costumes that we have, and it was all made by everybody in this department, or our director designed it, and then it came to life. And the whole armor itself, I really like the fact that it was just able to like mold on whatever corresponding person was wearing it. So it even was able to fit on our covers, our cover Dido and Sorceress. So it was very flexible regarding that.
For more performances and information, follow WKU Theater and Dance on Instagram at WKU Theater and Dance. And you know, Kaylee, the opera looked so cool.
Yeah,
and
it was very, very cool, very creative to see. I love that kind of stuff. I feel like it's not talked about enough.
It's not, and opera's like so different from any other kind of like choir concert or theater. Like it literally is a piece of theater, like, and it's telling a story. Yeah. And sometimes like, I know sometimes people will go to the operas and they'll be like, oh, and it was just really hard to understand because, you know, it was in a different language. But I think for this one, it was in English from what I understood.
Absolutely.
But as we continue, there was also a DEI protest Following the passing of the House Bill 4, students are still unsure of the future of DEI. We will have some never-before-seen footage of the protest to keep DEI at WKU.
Because words have power, but I always thought that actions are always louder than words. So we're going to be here, we're always going to be here, and we are not going to stop doing the things that those 3 words have instilled in us and the value systems that we want our students to carry forward as change makers in this age.
I just came out here to support what's going on. I feel like this is the right cause. Like diversity is such a huge part of education. There's a lot of underrepresentation of people who look like me, people who like a lot of people on this campus. And so that jeopardizes a lot of people's futures, a lot of opportunities. And so it's really difficult to be optimistic right now.
They're a little freaked out. They're a little scared. They don't know if this is an implicit or an explicit attack on their ability to be here just to exist as student leaders.
But events like these, I hope I mobilize individuals to seek upper and higher than what the system said they can reach. Absolutely. I found I'm lifting on voice. I feel like just making an impact, and I feel like I feel like this is something that's other people needing, and I feel like that's a good thing to do.
Part of it is a refusal to bend in our principles and our practices, or to do things differently just because of this attack on, again, words, not action. That's not what to say that we're not changing the way we do things. We're not changing the way that we make this feel like an environment that is welcoming to you, an environment in which we acknowledge your inherent humanity.
The bill was introduced into law on March 28th, getting rid of DEI programs on public post-secondary campuses, and universities will have until June 30th to comply.
Yeah, and it's hard because I feel like a lot of people, you know, DEI is such a big part of also communities and campuses, and
it is.
Getting rid of it is just something that I feel like is going to impact a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Up next, Avery brings us a full forecast for next week here on News Channel 12.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Good afternoon, my name is Avery Landman and I'll be your forecaster for today. Taking a look outside, we've got temperatures in the 50s and over here 63 in Glenville, but overall a cool and dreary day after some of those showers we saw this morning. We've also got some calm winds, everything really under 15 knots, all coming from the north, but even with the rain this morning, those winds are going to be blowing in some significant amount of pollen from just about everything. If you are allergic to trees, I would go ahead and take your allergy medicine if you haven't today already. I know I certainly did. For our current radar, we've got some dregs of those showers, a little more rain off to the west in Paducah, but nothing really to be concerned with, certainly drying out. For the rest of the day, we're going to clear out just a little bit, and for the rest into Saturday, Saturday is looking clear and gorgeous. Saturday, again, clear. Sunday morning, a few clouds, but really we're going to see a more substantial cloud layer moving in through Monday and continuing through the rest of Monday. For tomorrow, we've got 41 in the morning, warming up to around 61 degrees before we get back down to 58, so just a little bit warmer than yesterday. For our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, we're going to be noticeably cooler than our average. Our historical average for today is 69 degrees. Obviously, we are well below that this afternoon. For our 7 day, currently it's 50. I think we're going to peak out today at 57. We've had some scattered showers and just continuing with that cloud cover. Saturday and Sunday both warming up. Again, that beautiful Saturday afternoon. I don't know about y'all, but I am itching to see the sun again after all of this rain. Sunday, looking again 75, definitely getting up there, leading especially into Monday with that 81 degrees. Unfortunately, with that heat comes a good chance of rain, about 20%, so just check back in for some scattered showers are certainly possible. Tuesday, back down to 65. Looks like we might have a little front coming through there. But both Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll still have a good shot at seeing the sun. Before Thursday, 73, and certainly warming back up again. Now, this weekend, I know you may not want to hear it, may be the time to get some spring cleaning done if you've been procrastinating that. I know I certainly have. Getting ready to really kick back through the end of the semester and into summer. Kaylee, Jonah?
Thank you so much, Avery. I'm so excited to see the sun in the next coming week. But coming up, Megan Geisler and Lincoln Bryant give us the latest with sports next on News Channel 12.
Bring it.
Time out, guys. I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home. Okay. Bye, guys.
You guys need a ride? Sure. Yeah. All right. How about some one-on-one?
I gotta go eat, man. Sorry, I'll see you later.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back to Studio 2 for your weekly sports coverage.
Now we have to start with some WKU baseball. This WKU baseball team has been off to a historic start, Megan. Like recently, that big win in their series over DBU, this team is looking prepared to go more into conference play.
Yeah, and we have 28-5 overall record, and like you said, we had the series win over number 17 ranked DBU.
This team is just like DBU's. It was a hard challenge. They went into home, but it was just like they went into DBU and beat them 2-1 in the series. They run rolled them one time. Like, this was just really impressive to see this WKU offense just absolutely go off against a hard team like Dallas Baptist.
Yes, and we have to point out WKU is ranked number 25, which I think they 1,000% deserve. We've been waiting for this for a while, waiting for those rankings to come out, and I think WKU deserves to be ranked number 25, especially because they are playing against those top teams like Dallas Baptist, where they are ranked as well, and we are able to play them and play them well.
That's right, but it is in that one poll. We want to be ranked nationally. It's just that one poll in American, but I really think we can be seen nationally and go far in the tournament, like in the national tournament, to make it to the World Series potentially. Now that would be interesting. But
yes, and I think that if they continue to play well and if they continue to do what they've been doing before, and with some of these stellar players that we have seen so far this season, we are going to do that, and we will be ranked nationally. I really think we will be.
this WKU women's tennis team has a victorious season so far this year with a record of 77-41.
Reporter Alec Bouch took us onto the court and gave us an inside look at the team during their annual senior night.
It's senior day. And for the WKU women's tennis team, it's the culmination of years of hard work, camaraderie, and love. The winningest class in Lady Topper tennis history gave head coach Greg Davis a lot to be happy about. But now, tears. They join a long list of Hall of Fame worthy athletes that only continues to grow. And with the recent success of the majority of WKU athletics, they may need to print a few more plaques.
I feel like everything within athletics is working very, very well. I mean, if you look at when we went into Conference USA back in 2014, since then we've won 42 conference championships, and 11 sport programs have won a conference championship. That across-the-board success is really, really unique, and we've done it with true student athletes.
Champions leave behind legacies. And for Sofia Blanco and Rachel Hermanova, the two winningest athletes in WKU tennis history, their legacies are cemented.
Like, coming as a freshman, I never thought that was gonna happen, and year after year, we just keep breaking records, and it's just, I don't know, it's crazy to me.
Super proud of myself, Sophie, every single person that's on the team. Just, yeah, I mean, our names are gonna be up there forever, forever. We're gonna be there forever.
Just a few girls from different corners of the world, coming together one more time as teammates and forever as family. For News Channel 12, I'm Alec Fouch.
The 89th Masters Golf Tournament in Augusta is in full swing for 2025, and the leaderboard so far is off to a hot start. At the top of the leaderboard is Justin Rose, who had two top 10 finishes in the PGA Tour, and he was just 7 under par after the first round. Tied for the second is Ludwig Adberg, Corey Connors, and Scotty Scheffler. 3 being 4 under par after the first round. The tournament continues the drive over the weekend.
I think the Masters is a great tournament to watch, and the one thing I love about it, it is very traditional. They have so many different traditions that they carry on throughout, and they have so many different events that it feels like a great atmosphere to be at, and I would love to one day be able to go to the Masters.
Yeah, you're right. It's just a traditional event that is really enjoyable to watch, but one guy that I really like to see, would love to see win it, is Bryson DeChambeau. Like, he's my favorite player to watch in golf, but I think he's really just going to have a great Masters. He's doing well right now, and I really think he can continue.
Yes, and I am so excited to see what happens next, but that is all the time we have for today.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's what white people think.
You all right?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Where did the time go? I don't know how I got here.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
President Trump recently announced a baseline 10% tariff on all goods imported of the U.S. for reciprocal tariffs on dozens of its trading partners. Two tiny remote Antarctic outposts Heard and McDonald Islands, which are primarily populated by penguins and seals, are among the places hit by these 10% reciprocal tariffs. Heard Island is barren, icy, and completely uninhabited, home to Australia's largest and only active volcano, Big Ben, and mostly covered by glaciers. According to the UNESCO, it is one of the world's rare pristine island ecosystems that lies in the complete absence of alien plants and animals, as well as human impact. Quote, the islands are currently administered by the Australian government as an external territory, and according to the U.S. Census Bureau, currently have zero trade interactions with the U.S. The announcement of these recent tariffs has sparked controversy over social media and in the form of viral memes and videos.
Yes, dire wolves have been brought back to life due to the use of their ancient DNA. These wolves are the first of their kind in thousands of years. Colossal Laboratories and Biosciences, quote, took a 13,000-year-old tooth and a 27,000-year-old skull and made puppies, end quote. While these wolves are the first of their kind in many years, they are not exactly the same. These wolves carry genes from a gray wolf, which does not make them purebred. These wolves are larger and require more attention because they were reintroduced. There is not much information on how to care for these wolves. The dire wolves will not be released into the wild to repopulate.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us here in Studio 2 for News Channel 12. I'm Jonah Listerman.
I'm Kaylee Marksberry. Have a great day.